Well. Hello. You are now listening to Ayanna Smith. Money Talks with Ayanna Smith. And listen, have you wondered what is the big craze or what is the big thing about September being Life Insurance Awareness Month? Well, you know what? It is always in September a time of celebration and just to bring out some tips about how important life insurance really is. And we wonder why sometimes people don't want to get it, but sometimes they just don't understand the benefits. So we're going to go into a few details on this lovely show, Money Talks with Ayanna Smith, and we will be right back in just a few minutes to get things started and get things moving so we can hear about Life Insurance Awareness Month. Stay tuned. Well, we are back with Money Talks with Ayanna Smith. And those who do not know me know that my name is Ayanna Smith, of course, Ayanna M. Smith, as we would like to put the middle initial in there sometimes. And I am a life insurance broker, uh, money coach, you would say, a um, a life insurance specialist. Basically, I help people to make and save money, yes, and to learn how to do it in a tax-free manner. But I want to also expand it to know that there are so many types of life insurance plans that could help people that it's not a one size fits all. It's a one size fits you and your family and what you needed to do personally and for legacy building. And sometimes people say, what is legacy building? Of course, it is leaving a story. Everything we do leaves a story. So we want to make sure that we have the best story as possible that we're leaving here on earth. So when we're gone, hey, we've left a mark. We left a great imprint, something that people can really remember us by and know that we cared and loved hard, and we also showed that through action and indeed, right? Okay, so with that being said, of course, I love to work with the professional woman who sometimes doesn't know all that she needs to do with her money. She makes the money, but she just says, listen, at some point in time, I'm going to want to set the sail on the French Riviera or just lie down in my home quietly with my feet up and just relaxed with a nice cup of water or beverage or whatever I have in my hand and do nothing if I desire. And most of the people I know don't want to do just they don't want to just sit there and do nothing because they're such go getters and high energy. But every now and then you still need that reboot and that rest. So we're going to not drag on for a moment, but we are in Life Insurance Awareness Month, and it is September, and this is also a time. No matter what time we're hearing about life insurance awareness, it is always the month to celebrate life insurance awareness and to get a better understanding on benefits. So today, whenever we're listening, I want to share and talk about just 5 benefits that life insurance produces, and yeah, and really get into that and talk about some benefits and what can happen if we have it. What can happen if we don't, and just give you a few tidbits. And if you have questions, please make sure that you put them in the comments, send me a message, and also make sure that you schedule a complimentary consultation so that we can talk further about assessing and meeting your needs if possible. I always tell people if you are good with where you are, that is good with me. I don't mind going over things with you just to go over, do a view of what you have currently. If you currently are a of course, a life insurance policy holder, then we can go over and look and see if there's anything that you need to enhance, add on, or stay put because it's not about trying to put somebody in something that they don't need. Is making sure that they have what they need, and that is the goal. So with that being said, we're going to jump right in and talk about, of course, first, some, we said five important tidbits about life insurance and their benefits and what happens if you don't have it and all that. We pretty much generally know. And I like to tell this story. The little man used to come by my grandmother's house. You've heard it probably so many times if you've been listening to me over the years. And he would come and get the money. And that was the premium, paying the premium for her life insurance policies, probably for she and her and my grandfather. And the agent came and got the money, and then we saw him on the next time. There was no education, no talking about anything, no depth to what was going on. It was grandma had her life insurance policy, paying on it so that it would be ready, that when she passed away we would have something to bury her. But here is the thing we don't dig down into, we don't realize and account for, because we think, well, we have a policy and we're good. But there's inflation, and this is a whole different topic within itself. Inflation is occurring every day, every minute, and we have to make sure that we are trying our very best to outpace inflation by obtaining policies if we still qualify for them, or they even have policies now that people do have some pre-existing conditions that I can help you with that as well, to get you into something that will keep you from having me without any coverage. But there was no explanation, and there was no there was no talk about what it did, what it didn't do. It was just you had something that would put you in the ground, so to speak. And with that, that was that. And sometimes people's policies paid, sometimes they didn't, and that was due to just a lack of understanding sometimes, and also people were not doing what they needed to do. But hey, now things have really gotten better, and people are really trying to help. I would say, well, I am trying to help to make sure that people are understanding, educated, and will have what they need when they're in their time of need. So without further ado, let's get into what life insurance is. It's like, listen, life insurance we know is an essential tool. It's an essential financial tool, and it provides protection for and a peace of mind for individuals and their loved ones. And so you want to make sure that you think about, why is life insurance important? And it's important for several reasons. And one, we'll say, it provides financial protection. So that's the first one, provides financial protection for loved ones. Uh, the benefit of it, the money can be used to replace your income, pay off debts, cover funeral expenses, and help the family to maintain a decent quality of life, if not even a better quality of life, once the person has passed away. Now, of course, we want, sometimes we hear people say, well, I don't want to leave people a lot of money. Well, sometimes it's not about leaving people a lot of money. It's covering the assets that you had when you were alive. And if you want them to continue having those assets and covering them, then oftentimes the life insurance will help to do that. Like I said, paying off those taxes, um, and making sure that all the funeral expenses are taken care of, and that you're, what we say, very, very good in the event of that loved one's passing. Now, the importance of having the life insurance is, like, without it, the family is, may possibly have a struggle, may possibly have a problem making ends meet after your death, and potentially facing financial hardships. Sometimes people have had to move out of their homes because the breadwinner did not have enough insurance to keep the family, what you say, connected and afloat, to even keep the bills going after they passed away. So that made the family have to immediately have a total different shift of lifestyle, because they could not continue to live where they were living. And what a travesty that is, when we want our families, we've placed them in a certain spot, a certain place to live, and then upon our passing, we don't have enough insurance to continue that lifestyle. It's disheartening, on top of the grief that's already there when you agree. And if you agree and know some scenarios, of course, type a little bit in the comments and just say, hey, we need to chat, and we'll make sure that we connect again. And for those who are coming in and listening, again, my name is Ayanna Smith, Ayanna M. Smith, and I am a financial professional, life insurance broker. And I help that professional woman make sure that she drills down and finds out where she needs to place her money, because we want to make sure that we are covered and we are really, really, really great and really good. So, point number two, we're going to look at the benefits of life insurance is estate planning. I know you've heard me talk about estate planning and had attorneys on, and also funeral directors on as well, to give some real credence and backdrop to the importance of estate planning and the importance of having that life insurance to do that. And so life insurance can help with estate planning by making sure you're providing liquidity to cover estate taxes, because that happens when a person passes away, and other expenses that may occur and that you may accrue during that grievous time of that person passing. And also it can ensure that your assets can be passed on to your heirs without them having to sell valuable assets. And if, like I said again, you want to keep that home, you want to keep things in the family. It keeps people from being pressured and feeling like, well, I just better liquidate because I don't have the liquidity on hand to take care of the necessary issues. So here's the importance of having life insurance and rolling it into your estate planning, because without it, proper planning, you might lose, the heirs might lose, as I said, the things that you've worked for, the things that you want them to have. They may lose a significant portion of, the estate to taxes, because we usually say the taxes will eat up the value because people are not able to pay. And then the distribution of your assets can become very complicated and lengthy. And it is a lengthy process trying to get through. That's why we always hook this into uh, and looking at August being Get a Will, National Make a Will Month, because it hooks in so fluidly to Life Insurance Awareness Month in September. So these 2 months can keep bouncing all year long, just a 24/7, 365 day of the year type deal and mindset, that we need to have not only a will, but our life insurance is in place, and they blend together like a perfect union. So with that, number three, debt coverage. You want to make sure you have that life insurance because it will cover debts. Yeah, it can be used to pay off outstanding loans, outstanding debts, things that the parents and kids and all don't want to have to worry about. Whomever's left or whomever leaves whom, pays off the credit cards, and also this prevents people from inheriting your financial obligations, because if someone didn't make a bill, I've heard so many times. I remember I had a friend, and she shared that her deceased husband had a truck, and she was like, look, I didn't make that bill, take it back. And thankfully I do believe that they took it back, but sometimes it's not like that. People are expecting you to pay the bill, and sometimes you're really like, I'm not trying to pay that bill because I didn't make the bill, and it's just too much, it's too cumbersome, because I don't have the money to keep flowing and going like we were when we had more than one income or three incomes or what have you. So without it, it provides that struggle. And sometimes people go into foreclosure, repossessions, and all that because they don't have the proper funding through the legacy of life insurance. And therefore, they're, of course, heartbroken and in financial distress. So, looking at number four, we have education and future expenses, is what life insurance causes and helps. And the benefit of that, you can fund your children's education. Children can become $1 million babies if you get that life insurance when they are young. I mean, as early as 15 days in some cases, then building on just by the amortization, or just the opportunity for interest to be built, that compound interest, that all of that really is a big deal and a real thing, because if you are paying a little bit now over many years, then it's going to build and amass to a whole bunch. So it's like you get started now, you can build, you don't have to put in as much to build a greater amount. But of course, we know the more that we put in, the more we have the potential to grow. So remember, insurance is also a way to foot the bill for dreams and goals, retirement, and your children's college funds if you have children or if you have nieces and nephews. So either way, it can work if that's what you desire. And then here's the thing, if the children don't go to college, they'll still have money to buy properties or get certificates and certifications in different areas and arenas. So all is not lost. It still provides a way for people to have money down the road and really make some impact. You can be very impactful in a person's future. Give them a leg up instead of a broken leg that they can't recover from. So hey, we're looking at it like that. And there's also ways to set it up. I know you may be saying, well, I don't want them to get all that money at one point in time and just blow it or whatever. Well, there are ways to set that up through trust and things of that nature so that the money won't be spent in one lump sum. It will be given out, little by little. And that's something you can set up with your attorney. And also, there are people who are very, very savvy that are advocates who delve into the trust building and building trust. I would say that building the trust funds and all of that to make sure everything is good and safe and will do what you need it to do when it's time and not allow people to blow through money and just waste it because that's a travesty as well, to waste what people have left in hopes of a better life or leaving a better life than just wasting the money and then nobody can account for it. So that's we don't want that to happen at either. And as we come in, just looking at of course, any questions, comments, please make sure that you connect with me and let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if we can connect for a complimentary consultation so that we can get some things in place for you, go over what you already have or enhance what you already have and build from there because we have to do a tune up every year. We do this yearly, but we still have to always think in mind of Life Insurance Awareness Month giving us a tune up for what we already have, just like you tune up your car each year or should tune it up, or every so 1,000 miles you get an oil change and all of that. Same thing here is getting that financial oil change and making sure you have what you need and when you need it you do have it. So let's look a little further and so you got my notes here just rolling along to make sure that we're good. All right. And of course, five. Who can not think of this? Financial stability. Okay, it gives you a peace of mind to have that life insurance in place and having that life insurance so that the loved ones, of course, will oh gosh, let me see. In your absence, they will be financially secure. Yeah, they will be financially secure. They won't have to have so much worry because having life insurance and being aware of what types of life insurance you have will eliminate the worry. It would eliminate some of the worry about how your family will manage without your financial support. And of course, it shifts and it changes drastically when you had two incomes or three incomes or four incomes. And now it's shifted because it's down to one or two incomes. That's a big shift. Anytime you subtract and don't have a plan, it's more than likely going to be fairly tumultuous or detrimental, very hurtful, or gives you a hard time. Gives you a hard time on figuring out what is going to happen next. So making sure that you are have that life insurance. Without the life insurance you may live with that constant concern about your family's well-being, but with it you don't have to worry about that because if something happens then you are good. And here's the thing, let me insert this. You may be saying, well, I don't have a lot of family, I don't have children, I don't have a spouse, what have you, but you have yourself. And even I will insert this, even in getting life insurance has so many different facets now that we have, of course, the living benefits. And and the living benefits is when people get heart attack, cancer, stroke, can't move, toilet, bathe, feed themselves, go to the bathroom by themselves, and all that. With those things kick in, the living benefits allows the policy holder to accelerate a portion of the death benefit to make sure that he or she they're covered, make sure that they are covered in the event of those down times, and allows them to continue to pay bills or get their rehabilitation or obtain medications that health insurance may or may not cover. And so with that, that has become a big deal in getting living benefits. So as a single person or someone who may not have a whole lot, you say you don't have a whole lot of assets or don't want to leave this or that, make sure that you cover and have yourself in place for you. Make sure that it's for you, if it's for nobody else. If you get sick, not looking to get sick, but if you do, you are able to continue to heal and recover without the weight of being crushed with the financial ramifications of things. Okay, so it's still a way, and it's still necessary, and it's still needed. So don't scratch it out and say, hey, I'm not trying to leave anybody anything. If you qualify, it is great to have things in place so that if you need it, then you have it. Okay, all right, so here we go. Reasons people suffer without life insurance. Oh my goodness. Well, they suffer without life insurance because without it, families find themselves in that hard spot. Okay, we got to that fifth one, right? We got to the fifth spot. That we wanted the peace of mind, we wanted the benefits, but without it, you may have to have that constant concern about the family not being taken care of. And so that's the thing. And we want to make sure that we're taken care of. Like I just said, living benefits is a great place to get things in order so that you will be good if you get sick. And so, as we close, reasons people suffer without life insurance. As I look at these notes quickly, financial vulnerability without life insurance, people find themselves financially vulnerable, they struggle. To pay their daily expenses, to repay debts, or plan for the future. There's a lack of inheritance. The absence of insurance can, prevent heirs from receiving an inheritance or have a reduced inheritance due to the need to cover the financial overwhelm of funeral expenses, outstanding debts, and of course, we said those taxes, which we can't avoid. And then it becomes a burden on survivors. Survivors may face a significant financial burden. They may have medical bills on top of the funeral expenses, on top of the daily living costs, on top of the financial support that's now gone and no longer provided, that was provided by that loved one, that could be covered and bridged in a gap by having life insurance. And then also missed opportunities. Life insurance can be a valuable tool for building wealth. And people talk about, well, I don't know what wealth looks like. But you know what? We can't get started with what it looks like if we don't get started. So that's the importance of having the right types of life insurance. And we can get into that, of course. But I will say this: life insurance, any whole life, any cash accumulation policies are assets. So if you want to know more about how can life insurance be an asset, we do need to connect, because we are oftentimes so we may be fooled or under the impression that we have something that we do not, or it's going to give us or provide us what we think we're going to have, and it does not. So let's make sure that we set up that complimentary consultation. To speak, go to, of course, www.askayana, so that we can make sure that we are on point and we do and have what we need to have. So that's AskAyanna to schedule that complimentary consultation. Also, as we wrap up, that life insurance helps to reduce the emotional stress. It helps to reduce the emotional stress on the loved ones, and they don't have to worry so much about what are we going to do with our home, with our cars, what have you, if we have that bridge, that money to bridge that gap during the time of grief. And it provides relief for the survivors. It provides some security for the survivors, and it also speaks to your love for your family and friends and whoever you're leaving your monies to, that you cared enough about them to leave it to them. Even if you're leaving it to a charity, that's wonderful. If you have a charity that's near and dear to your heart, it's great, it's good, and it's okay. So make sure that we are tapping in and getting the full clarity of how life insurance can work for us, how it is an asset, the cash accumulation building styles of life insurance build assets. The ones that don't build cash are their assets while you're living, of course, but they don't provide that cash over time. But it's still not bad, because I want you to understand you get what will fit your budget, but you build on when your budget expands. And that's how you look at it. And you make ways for what you want to make ways for. So why not make ways to cover yourself, to make sure that you are very, very good and very, very secure. So this has been wonderful, talking about Life Insurance Awareness Month, giving some tidbits with inside of that on the importance of and the benefits of life insurance. And as we do a quick recap, we're going to look at the 5 reasons why life insurance is important. And of course, I gave several benefits and reasons people suffer without it. But the 5 reasons: number 1, financial protection for loved ones; 2, estate planning; 3, debt coverage; 4, we had education and future expenses; and 5, it gives you the main one that I love so much, a peace of mind. So make sure that you subscribe again to my YouTube channel. It is the Ayanna Smith, TheAyanna, the Ayanna Smith, the Ayanna Smith, the Ayanna Smith. Make sure that you do that and connect with me on also on Facebook, wherever you watch this, LinkedIn, yes, watching it there, and Instagram also. And I have my personal pages and my business pages. So make sure that you go there, and you also see the well, not email, but you see my web address on the screen, askayanna.com. Schedule your complimentary consultation, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Remember, money is always talking, even if we aren't talking about it. So let's talk about it, and let's really talk about this Life Insurance Awareness Month and get our life insurance in order and in place, so that we will set ourselves up for a successful today and tomorrow. Have a great one.